we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll find out for sure. Yeah.
yeah. I'm Pat.
Hey, I'm Jeffrey. Are we going?
We're going.
We're going. Okay.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1,
All right.
go.
All right.
So
All right. Cool.
cool.
So
Surgery.
yeah, right. So
Surgery.
for posterity's sake, I mean, the whole purpose of this was to document incidents in a time capsule as they happen. So explain the new information that you've received.
Yeah, my bicep is completely detached from my radius. So
And do you know which bone that is now?
that's the little one that your bicep attaches to. So-
And you know that because, okay, the radius, it has a little ball right here.
Right. It's not the one with the U-shaped J at the bottom.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I've seen all the pictures now.
That is
They're
the ulna.
fucking
Yes.
horrifying, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, apparently you don't like. So your biceps is just not for doing curls, so and stuff.
Explain.
Yeah, so like we were talking about supination and what's the other one?
Supination and pronation.
And
yeah.
pronation. So one of those you cannot do without your bicep. So don't ask me which one it is, but so like normally your hand, I'm holding my hand flat here. You can rotate it almost 270 degrees, right? So 90,
Yeah.
like this, all the way 270 degrees.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So I can only do mine about 180 now. So
And you can go.
I can go this way.
Okay.
Well, I
So-
can't because I'm in a brace, but yeah.
Right.
I can go this way. I cannot do this. I cannot turn my palm to the sky.
Okay, so the way to remember it.
Okay.
And this also goes with your feet. Okay. So your feet can supinate and pronate as well.
Not 270 degrees.
No.
Okay.
But that's basically showing the angle upon which it rotates. So
Right.
if you're unsure upon which, all right, so if you rotate this way, all right,
Still palm up.
okay, think about how are you going to hold soup,
Okay, all right.
right?
That works.
That's how I learned it at A&P. So it's like, which one's supination? Well, we'll do it like this, make a soup bowl.
What's the other one called?
Pronation.
Pronate. That. Okay. All right. There we go.
And the same thing goes like with your feet, so they're flat on the ground like this.
Right.
If they supinate,
Oh, okay.
go like this. If they pronate,
Oh, okay.
right?
Got it. Inboard and outboard. Yeah.
Well, it beats. Okay, the nice thing about that is, yes, it's. I know what you mean. Because the problem with that in like medicine would be like, which way can he turn his hand? This way, right?
Right.
And same thing goes with like describing it, right? It's like, so what happened? I can't go this way.
I can't hold soup.
Right.
Got it. All right.
Supination. Yeah, see?
Okay, I can't hold soup. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing is like at rest, the bones are side by side here. They cross when you.
So I can't do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but you can still like do curls without the bicep. So it's just all tendon.
Shoulder, yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's no strength to it whatsoever. So yeah, but you can still do it. So that's why I didn't think I'd fucking wreck my bicep because I could still touch my shoulder. I thought if it came completely detached, it'd be just like a fucking noodle. But that's not how it works. Yeah,
okay.
no. There's other ligaments in there that attach to other things that
Tons.
still allow you to do that. So, but the muscle itself pulled clean from the bone.
Wow.
Yeah, which means I need surgery. So, like within the next 2 weeks, otherwise I'm going to lose permanent.
Use of the arm.
Well, no, I can still use it, but I'll never deadlift again.
When were you deadlifting before,
It's
man?
been a few years, man. It has been a few years, but I'll never lift boxes again. There we go. So when you're talking about smashing luggage,
Yeah.
my luggage smashing days will be over then.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
So
Well, I don't think it's something you would just leave to nature anyway.
well, no, it's not because
Yeah.
it fucking hurts. So
Yeah.
yeah. No, it doesn't hurt bad. It feels like I did 1,000 push-ups and it won't, the sore won't go away. So anyway.
Well, and then the next part of it is get ready because you will be doing some PT on that.
I will be doing some PT.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, it's surgery and then PT and I don't know just quite yet. I haven't seen the actual doctor, the actual surgeon, Dr. Barber. So
Oh, you will. You'll see him, and he'll talk you over, and he's probably gonna. You're not gonna like it.
No, I'm not gonna like it.
I'm gonna level with you. I love you, Pat. I wouldn't lie to you. You're not gonna like it. The process is gonna suck.
It is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna take months. So yeah.
But again, just as a positive note, it's your left arm.
It is my yeah, it's grabby.
You know, I know that I know that seems silly, but that makes so much of a difference.
You
in
know
this
how
trip, like
hard
I
it
said,
is to
man,
do. Yeah, like being one-handed for the last week, kind of makes you appreciate certain very small things. Like today, I went to work today. So, and I mean, driving is interesting.
I can't imagine. It sounds like it would be agonizing.
No, it's not bad, man. I mean, this rests right on the armrest, so it's cool.
But you don't drive with it at all. You
No, I use it to like maybe brace the steering wheel while I was grabbing my coffee. So
Okay,
yeah, but that's
all right.
about it. But I didn't realize how often I change my grip when I drive for long distances, and so my hand
all the time just
yeah, this one's like turning blue after like half an hour. It's like, oh, I need that one, man. I'm not gonna drive with my teeth. So,
Yeah, it's funny. I'm watching the I don't want to say it's the dumbest show, but I'm so into it just because it took me like straight back into the 90s. You may or may not have heard of this. But did you ever hear of the anime show Initial D? Your brother may have been into it because it's about street racing.
yeah, I don't remember that one.
Okay, it's incredibly silly, right? And it is as 90s as it gets, but I never watched it. It was just like this is not something I'd be interested in, right? But YouTube, of course, it just kicked out something. Hey, I have no idea what you want to see, but do you want to watch this clip of this something? And I'm like, okay, all right,
yeah.
And so I started getting into it, and it's like you're talking about, like one of the challenges they do, the bullies are challenging these street racers. It's like you have to get in a it's a duct tape drift race.
Okay.
Where, like you're talking about changing your grip.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to duct tape your hand to the wheel so that you can't go around. You have to do this all one arm.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Do you get to choose the hand?
Well, so it's obviously it's going to be, since they're doing this with manuals.
Oh, so it's gonna be a left hand. Yeah.
Well, but it's in Japan, so they have the cars on that.
Yeah,
right.
Never mind.
So they're going to duct tape your right hand, to the wheel, right, so that you can't roll over like this.
Okay.
Right. And it's funny. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, you can't even palm it then. Yeah.
That's the thing is,
right.
I was thinking about how I drive normally.
Yeah.
That would be unbearable for me.
Yeah, it'd be terrible.
It's like I can't accept this.
Yeah. No, I did notice a little bit of that today. How much I actually rely on my left hand just to lazily hang on to the left hand side of the steering wheel, kind of thing.
It counts.
I guess, man. I mean, like most of my driving's highway driving, so
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that, and even like putting a seatbelt on, I was like, this is weird. So. Or tying my shoes. It's like, this is weird. Yeah. So no, I tried driving with the sling, and it feels like you're like thoroughly strapped in. So I was like, no, take that shit off, man, because if I do get in a wreck, I'm gonna be fucking trapped. So with this thing,
yeah. That's a good point. Do you put it back on like when you get to work?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah. Whenever I walk around and stuff, or sit at my desk for too long. Here we got a nice nifty table. So
it's just about the right height.
Perfect height, man. So
you take it with you if you need to.
It's okay. I got one at home.
That's a work.
So, yeah.
You got a travel one.
You get one on wheels.
Yeah.
So just wheel it in front of me like a walker. So.
Yeah, dude, that's rough. That's absolutely rough, man.
But. No, it'll be okay though, man. So, if I have to take time off from work, I've got like over 6 fucking months of sick time. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I went and looked at my balance today. I was like, how many weeks? That's half a year. Nice. So, yeah.
Well, do it if you need to. I mean, that's
I
exactly
don't think
what
I
it's
need
there
to, man.
for,
I can
but,
still
yeah.
do my job from my home. So
Well, okay, so yeah, you can do it from home, and the other thing is you're only going down once a week, so
well, twice, but
you're doing twice.
I do twice. Yeah.
Since when? I thought you were only going to go once.
No, this semester's twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, twice it is, but
Well, that was my choice too. I mean,
Uh.
they had me set up just one day a week. I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I want to go down there. I want to get back in front of the classroom.
okay.
It seems as if karma had other plans. So, I mean, I'm like so sick of Zoom, man.
I get
Yeah,
it.
Zoom classes
I
are
get
just dumb. So, but they are what they are.
Well, what they did prove over the COVID experiment and the subsequent test results that followed, it was not an effective teaching technique
No,
or method or avenue.
I think it can be, but I think probably like 95% of the teachers who were doing it were fucking it up. So, because
Well,
I've taught over Zoom for years, even before COVID. You
Yeah.
got to set the class up so that it works. So if you try and take a class that's not set up that way and then blast that shit on Zoom, it's terrible. So,
well, there is that, but I mean, also, we've been working with older students. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
imagine doing that with fourth graders. I
Oh,
can't
I don't think that's
imagine.
possible, man. I mean, they've done it for a while. I mean, they've always done these like school at home like things,
Sure.
for like at least the last decade. I mean, some of the folks that I knew in graduate school were working on some of those things. And
Yeah.
they were fairly effective, especially for like kids with the autism and
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. And if you
Um,
can keep the class sizes small, yeah. Yeah.
well, most of this was like what you did. They designed
Mm-hmm.
it around a one-on-one basis.
Exactly.
So,
That again, I'll argue that's completely effective.
yeah.
Well, for two reasons. Because number one, um, you actually you have a lot more control over the situation. And number two, if you see people are fucking around, you can be like, "Hey, this is your time you're wasting, not mine.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Yeah.
you screw around, I mean, I'm out of here."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I've done a pretty good job on broadcasting with classes.
You have, yeah. You
Yeah.
embraced it a long time ago.
Well, yeah, no, I did a long time ago, but again, you got to set that up right, man. So, and if you just try and do it with whatever, yeah, I don't know how you do it with fucking fourth graders. So,
I can't imagine.
yeah, or even
I
like middle
cannot
school
imagine,
kids.
yeah.
I mean, you could probably do it with like some high school kids, but even then, a lot of high school kids they like suddenly forget all the math. Yeah,
They
so,
did.
They did.
It was measurable, yes.
Yeah. I saw something about that the other day about Fauci.
That guy.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to prosecute him, but Matt Taibbi was on his ass there for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he scored any hits or not. I have to go back, circle back, and check that out. So, and the other guy, the British dude, the guy that the China guys always make fun of.
Oh, Peter Daszak.
Yeah, is that Ballsack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently that guy's pretty damn close to being run out of like everything that he's ever done ever. So
Well, I mean, we're on the precipice of it. There are places that have already instituted new mask policies.
are there
Oh yeah.
in the United States?
Oh yeah.
Where?
Not here.
Yeah, it'll never happen here again.
I mean, I can give you a list of the
Let me guess.
usual
L.A., San
offenders.
Jose,
Yeah,
San
the usual
Francisco,
suspects.
maybe D.C. I don't know if they do that in New York again. I don't know.
New York, if they're smart. Okay, so so one thing, a very problematic side effect of the masking phenomenon was that, yes, a lot of people learned that when you have sanctioned ninja costumes, people will rob the shit out of you.
Yeah, they'll take your shit. Yeah.
And I think at this point, because I know I saw this happening in California as well. They have after a brawl broke out in the mall. They have now instituted like mall policies where minors, unaccompanied minors, have to wear lanyards with their parents' contact information on them if they're in the mall.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
yeah.
Why would you go to the mall then? You know?
Well, I mean that's the thing. Yeah, they're now trying to sort of they're trying to address basically like the mob robbings and stuff like that. So
So why are they going back to masking? Is COVID coming back or what?
well, they say there's a new variant on the rise.
There's been like 100 of those since.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing is they haven't said that it's any particularly more deadly. They haven't said anything like that. It's just a new variant, and it's contagious. You know why? Because it's a disease. It's flu.
Yeah, it's gonna come back every single year
Yeah.
for.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna like basically replace the flu. Well, no, you'll have that and the flu. So.
In theory, what you should do is you should get a 2-in-1 shot if you want that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably get mine. So my mom's got the flu right now.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
And then it's, you know, just like we've done in the past, right? The most vulnerable will get the shot first.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, or if you want it. So
Yeah, I
just
agree.
like the flu shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never worked somewhere they said you have to get a flu shot.
No.
So I mean, I've known people who worked in hospitals who, yes, you have to get it.
And
So-
even then, I mean, that's a tough one. I don't. That's.
Well, this was all before COVID. I don't know how that changed now. So,
I have no idea.
yeah.
I don't know if that's the ethical grounds on that, where they can say yes or no to this. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's probably be state by state eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once everything gets chewed through the courts, maybe. If there's even lawsuits out there about that, I guarantee there are somewhere. So
I guarantee you there still are. Yeah.
yeah.
I know that there have been lawsuits about people who were dismissed or kicked out because of that. Now, I do want to point this out here. I think I've said it before. When we make the news, it's always for usually something bad.
We made the news. Who got shot?
Yes, no, but it was not. It was not shot. It had to do with Harrison School District 2. Did you hear this?
Oh, the Gadsden flag.
Yes.
Yeah, that got blown way out of proportion, man. So that happened at Vanguard. I know a guy at Vanguard.
Do you?
I do.
Well, what's the story? If you have the inside
So
scoop.
the inside story is they've been hounding this kid for a while because he's been putting patches of guns on his backpack. So they weren't actually pissed off about the Gadsden flag. So they were pissed off about the guns.
Well, that's not what they said, though.
Well, I don't know what the district said. I'm just going off what I heard.
Well, so they had the video.
Oh, okay. There's a video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing is
I saw Polis said something about it.
yes. So the thing is in the video, the I'm gonna presume it's a disciplinarian. I don't know, probably a dean or something. I have no idea. What's the
Well, this is at Vanguard. So Vanguard's a charter school.
what's
It's
their
completely different than
yeah?
like
What's their structure, their hierarchy?
at that chart? I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so Vanguard's a completely separate school. It just happens to fall under Harrison. So they have uniforms there for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
If I'm not mistaken. So
well, they seem to be wearing uniforms.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So they're recording this meeting, and basically the girl, she says is straight up. She says that we can't have you wearing that because its origins are rooted in slavery.
Oh, see, that's wrong. Yeah.
It's 100% wrong.
Yeah, no.
And
Benjamin Franklin made that flag.
Yeah, I know. That's,
Yeah, no, that's wrong. No, the thing that I saw, which came through a different grapevine that I'm kind of tapped into, thanks to my email at my old school. And then I do know some people in Harrison School District 2 admin, and at least one teacher at that school.
Yeah.
So, who was posting on Facebook about it. But I don't know. I didn't see a video. So
yeah, that's that. She specifically cites that reason, and then if you look at the actual bag itself, there's no firearms.
maybe he already took them off. I don't know.
That's up for debate because people were suggesting that as a possibility, but that's not said in the video.
Oh no, I haven't seen the video.
And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm really of one of two perspectives. Either you let people put on patches or you don't.
Yeah, I think that school's kind of a you don't kind of school.
No, everybody does.
What, patches?
Yeah.
But they wear uniforms.
Yeah.
So they put patches on their backpack to express themselves.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
Okay, so I would draw the line at guns. So in a school.
You're talking to the wrong guy. I
know.
I draw the lines at it's like, excuse me, is that an act of personal expression?
Yes,
you can march your ass right back out to home and come back when that's off.
Well, see, that's why I was kind of surprised when I heard that it was Vanguard, because if that had happened at one of the middle schools or the high school, Harrison's got what, 2 high schools? I think they just got one.
And...
No, Watson's D11. I think they just have the one Harrison.
It's Harrison, and I think you're right.
Yeah, and that's school for years.
No, where's Sierra?
Sierra's in D11. Yeah. So, oh no, it's not. That's in yeah. That's in D2.
Whitefield?
Oh yeah, no, maybe it's Whitefield. No, Whitefield is its own high school. So, Sierra might be District 2. It might be Harrison and Sierra.
I think it is.
I think you're right.
I think it is, but don't.
I went to Sierra once, man. So
yeah, you didn't
on
like
a recruiting thing. No, I wasn't even subbing. I was recruiting. So, and it was like, whoa, man. So,
different culture, huh?
Like, Wayne, put your bullet in your front pocket.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you got the wrong guy on this one. This to me, this kind of bullshit, like, it fits under, like, 2 categories. That whatever, and the same thing for me applies for if you're going to do that to the students, then that also applies to the teachers, right? To me, this is like, well, anything goes. This is an expression issue at this point, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Because if I'm going to go back to the Supreme Court, basically the black armband days,
mm-hmm. Yep,
right, where this all really kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would argue that if you're going to rule in favor of that, then the message cannot be diluted no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's convoluted about this one is it is a voluntary charter school.
Yeah.
So you don't get assigned there as a kid.
Right.
So I guarantee you signed some kind of code of conduct where they say, hey, if we tell you to take that fucking patch off, you got to take the fucking patch off. So,
Yeah, but the issue is can that supersede basically your First Amendment rights as agreed to?
Hey, man, it's the same as being a part of a company. So, yeah, if your company tells you can't post that shit on Facebook, you can't post that shit on Facebook. I mean, you can, but then we don't have an obligation to continue to employ you. So...
That's a tough one.
I know, man. I know, but...
One.
Like the way that the chips kind of fall on that one, I know that's how most charter schools operate. Just because, they operate inside the district structure, but with their own disciplinary policy, their own, curriculum, their own rules.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's like having a secret police. It's fine.
It's very much like having a secret. It is a secret police thing. But see, that school is like the best one in town. So, and it's in a terrible part of town. So you remember where Mike's apartment was?
Yeah.
It's about 3 blocks from there, man. Yeah. So you go another block and you can have all the hookers you want, man.
Well, what's amazing, okay, and this is what's great about this is yes, they did backpedal on this, and Polis did post about it. He said like that's rooted in slavery.
Yeah, no, he's totally right. Yeah.
So yeah, I got you on that.
I didn't know there was a video though. I'd like to go see it now.
Yep, it's most of this. You got to understand. Most of the posturing is basically. I don't know who it is, but it's basically somebody that's in charge. Some person like this saying like, "Look, whether or not I disagree with you about that is irrelevant. This is just what's been passed down, from the higher
man,
ups."
You never hide behind the company, man. So
that's what she did.
That's bullshit. She should be fired. So, or at least disciplined. So,
and that's where she's like, so if you have a problem with this, you got to reach out to this person. I can get you in touch with this person, because they made the decision. But yeah,
then they should be the one telling the kid. So
I would agree.
Yeah.
I'm just again, this is where it goes to my thing, where it's like, all right, well, that goes for the students. That should go for the teachers, right? This should go to like, all right. If you allow people to have that kind of expression and you're going to protect that, then fuck it, man. If somebody wants to hang up the, the pride flag, then the guy next door, if he wants to, can hang the stars and bars. That's kind of where I come from. Is
Yeah, I don't think that would go
if
over
you
very
no,
well.
of course it wouldn't go over, right?
I always see things from an administrative standpoint. It's like, which one of these is going to cause me more shit?
Well, to me, the thing that would cause me less shit was like all this goes.
Yeah, exactly. And
None.
that, yeah,
Nobody.
no, that's. I mean,
You don't endorse anything around here.
Yeah, we were
That's
talking about that
ridiculous.
the other day.
Yeah.
You know, just like in terms of management policy, it was like, no, if there's one pinup, there's you can all have pinups. I just prefer no pinups, okay, because it just makes the world go better. So, and I'm sorry if I have to be the asshole that says, you know what, I don't care about your own personal self-expression.
Nope.
If you want to do that, go do it on your own time, man. Not
Exactly.
on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not going to control your social media. You're going to say whatever you're going to say. I don't care. But in this building, right? And look, I would also
I would care if you cost me business. So, absolutely, I'd care about that.
what off social media.
Yeah. So, if you say I work at so and Pat's an asshole and don't buy his products, yeah, you're getting fired. So,
Well, I mean, there's another component of that where it's like, based on what? I'm like, what do you mean I'm an asshole? It's like
I wouldn't even challenge it. I'd be like, oh, I don't want you to work for an asshole, so you don't work for me anymore. So
There's there's that. Don't get me wrong. I guess the biggest problem that I've had with this, since they've been, talking about the flag wars and everything else like this here, is to me, all right, the biggest issue I have, right, because it seems like there's a hand in hand, the marriage between certain flags. A lot of times you see like the pride flag or um, the trans rights flags, all this other bullshit, and then also see like the Black Lives Matter flag and that kind of stuff. Like, the problem I have with this is I don't know how you can hang these things that celebrate certain groups without it giving the indirect, basically like the indirect support or basically indirect discriminatory look here. So if you were to say like, hey, I disagree with that, you are in a position where a person could feel discriminated against because they don't align with your beliefs. This is the thing where like I don't care what your belief is, so for me it's that same thing. If you want to hang up the stars and bars, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I know where you stand, right? But to me that's like, well, you've clearly drawn a line and said you have a preference for these kind of people, right?
well, by allowing that behavior, you sanction it, so it can have trickle down effects on students, I suppose.
Like, think about it in this way. Like, if you disagree with that statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and keep in mind, you're in a public learning space. If you disagree with that symbol or that flag or whatever that is,
Well, it is a charter school, so we got to be careful.
well, no, I'm talking about any school. Any school at this point. Any public
There are
school.
differences. So the Catholic Church can say, no, you can't hang that fucking in our school.
A Catholic church can, yeah. Any private school, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
right?
that's essentially what a charter school is.
But what I'm saying here is, like, especially like in public schools where they'll let
Yeah.
you, put these things up here, right? I would argue that those kind of things, by basically endorsing things that are, you're knowingly going to cause tension with people who disagree with it,
Yeah, sure.
right? I would argue that you're sort of creating a hostile environment for the students.
You could possibly argue that. So yeah.
I want it all out.
Oh no, if I was
everything.
administrator, no, take all that shit down. So you can put up your little panda pictures that say, hey, have a nice day. That's great. Okay, so
That's where I draw the line. Yes.
anything that's got any kind of like political connotation to it, it's like, hey, you know what? There's a good place on the back of your car for a bumper sticker for
Right.
that. That's where it belongs, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong in the classroom. So, you want
Do
to
I
wear
make myself clear? Yeah.
you want to wear a T-shirt that says that on there? Okay, all right. If it's that T-shirt day, So, the rest of the days, you guys are all in slacks and polos. Come on, these are going to be company issued ones too. So, and I'm going to get you the nice ones, not the scratchy ones.
Uniforms. Huh?
Uniforms. So
You've come around to uniforms.
I don't like uniforms in a public school setting, so I really don't. But as far as teachers go, I would say that there needs to be a level of professionalism that actually separates you all as adults, and so don't be wearing your tie-dye bullshit around here. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's sort of all right. Again, that kind of goes into my whole thing of like, yeah, we're professionals here, so number one,
Get some polish on them shoes.
well, it's also that would also be that I would look around and say, all right, you show me which animal in nature has that hair color naturally, and I'll let you wear it.
I don't know if I'd care about that.
I
mean,
absolutely would.
I know, man,
Right.
but you'd have them all like in fucking bonnets and comb overs. So
Well, the students or the teachers?
yes.
The teachers, look, it would just be look. There's a very simple set of standards. Number one, no visible tattoos. Forget it. We don't do that here. If you want to be in a motorcycle gang, you do that.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But not here. Number two, you will have natural hair colors in this business. There will be no piercings that are not in the
Yeah.
ears.
Yeah, you'd never be able to do that in public school.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, no, no. I
And
mean,
then there will
private
be
schools apparently fight with it enough. So
and then the dress is business casual, and I do mean business casual. If there's any sort of endorsement or some sort of, if I get a whiff of politics,
yeah, no,
it's your ass.
yeah. Well, I mean, you got to go home and change that. So get
Right.
out of here. So yeah. No, but I mean that just doesn't fly in the school system. A lot of it goes back to that black armband thing. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, and I mean that's the problem with providing publicly funded education that is
Yeah.
open access.
Yeah.
Is that okay? So now it actually is a government entity, and so all these protections in the Constitution apply. Cool. All right. So that's why we've always had a two-part school system.
Yeah.
If you don't like that shit, fine. You can go pay these people over here. This is a military academy.
Right. Right.
So they'll take your tuition dollars and straighten your boy out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's always been an option.
Welcome to push-up remedial middle school. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be an instructor.
I'll be your instructor.
No, I got you there. And that's the rough thing is, yeah, if you argue that that's protected speech, this is the thing. Like, again, Patrick, for the millionth time, I feel like I'm going to have to clarify this, is I obviously do not believe in what the swastika represents, but if you argue...
Yeah, I know.
You're
doing the ACLU thing here, back when it used to be the ACLU.
Well, they were the good ACL. When they had the defense shit that they knew was like...
I don't know, man. They forced all the Jews out of the firm, so I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a rough thing. I remember when the ACLU had to defend things that you understand that the people within the ACLU were like, this feels wrong. But
well, yeah, the whole what's the famous one? Not the Nazi march. That's one of them. But
that's absolutely one of them.
Well, the other one was Westboro Baptist.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic example of that. It's like we're going to defend a cult that slings homophobic epithets at the relatives of dead veterans. Let's check off all the boxes here of ugly, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
because there's no version of this where it doesn't, pass the you guys are dicks. There's no version of this where where it's all not entirely scumbag maneuvers. But again, if the whole basis of this is the right to free speech is tantamount to everything, you can be disgusted by the message, but you have to protect it, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's where I've always stood, and that's the part that gets to me is
I mean, but that doesn't jive in a charter school. So you couldn't be, all right, so everybody's got to wear uniforms and no, freedom of expression whatsoever. So, at this point in time, because ultimately, so the Constitution still applies to children. So it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selectively, at times.
Yeah, but in general, it does. Yeah. I mean,
you get most of it.
You get most of it. Yeah. But it's also, I don't know. It's difficult when you look at it from an administrative standpoint.
It's terrible.
It's certainly awful.
What a nightmare.
I don't think I'd ever want to be in charge of a middle school or a high school.
Especially with the things that I particularly believe. Again, this is me. This is me being in that office and saying, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And you're absolutely right in principle. Get that fucking swastika off and don't ever bring it back to this school again.
Right, yeah.
Right? But, of course, in my heart, it's you have as much right to expression as anyone here.
Yeah.
And we are not clamping down on all the rest of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I have to go out there and say, this is the double standard I'm going to adhere to.
But you're also making a fucking headache for me, man. And so,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm sorry, man. I got to protect the 999 other students in the school.
I
so.
get it. Well, the other thing is like I have to protect you from them.
Right, and yeah.
Because I mean, this is. I guess this is sort of
Schoolyard
like
justice is not a good disciplinary policy.
right. This is the problem. Is, yeah, there is a little bit of like fucking like Shawshank Warden going on here. Where it's like, look, you can wear that thing.
You know what happened to both of those guys, right?
Boy, I don't like to align. No, I'm just saying, like
Hadley cried like a schoolgirl.
No, because yeah, it's the tough thing for me would be like, yeah, I'd be like, look, wear the thing, but I'm gonna tell you that until this day is over, nobody's gonna be looking in your direction, and whatever happens, happens.
Yes, yeah,
but you can't.
You can't do that.
No.
Yeah, we don't live in the 1920s anymore.
Absolutely
so,
not. And that's probably how I would have solved that problem in 1920.
Probably in 1980. So.
Well, actually, in 1920, I wouldn't have cared. I'd have been like, I don't know what that is.
Right, yeah. Oh, you're
like,
Anastasia. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, it's a symbol of good luck? Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
Holes draw them all over the place. during test day, draw all these spots guys all over the place.
1920, no problem.
Those Germans, they really believe in luck. Fine fellows.
Yeah, no problem then. But yeah, I would say at what year would you draw the cutoff? Say like
1933. I could put a bit on that one, man.
You could probably put a date and an hour on it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, this shit ain't cool anymore.
Yeah.
As of right now.
As of right now, this got political.
Yeah, you're right. I gotcha. But yeah, that's sort of where I'd be with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's why I like college. It's like, hey, do your work or don't. Whatever.
Right.
Wear shoes or don't. Whatever.
Look, I won't stop you, but if they do, that's their business.
If someone does, that's, yeah.
But I'm not going to be the one doing it because I don't care.
Nope. So, y'all adults. Yep. No, I don't think I could do that anymore, man. I mean, I had a hard enough time with middle schoolers 15 years ago. I can't imagine. I mean, this was before any of them even had fucking cell phones. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all had cell phones when I was there, but it's just. I don't want to say it's gotten worse. It's just gotten different.
Yeah. Well, my daughter, like, she takes her cell phone to school, but they got it strict, like, it stays in your locker, until lunch kind of policy.
Right.
And if we see it, you don't get it back until your parents come and get it from us, kind of thing, which is actually pretty clever, Yeah,
so, I've heard some places where they argue that you can't do that.
What, take it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what was it? There was a famous incident where kids were trying to reach out to their parents, but they couldn't. It was an emergency situation.
Oh.
And so I thought they ruled that you couldn't take them, but I don't know. That may be an urban myth. I don't know. I'd have to look up the rules on that.
Well, they do at my daughter's school, so.
So yeah, obviously it's like, all right, that's fine. Look,
yeah,
I frankly, like the argument that I've seen, or the method that I've seen that seems to be the most fair is like when you walk into class, here's the basket, you throw yours in here, right? The only problem I have with that is
people yoink your phone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I know years ago when I was first teaching, I knew folks not in the middle school or high school level, but at college level who would do that. And they had to put an end to that because that's exactly what would happen. Yeah. People would yoink somebody else's cell phone, especially if it was nicer than yours. So,
or even by accident. I mean, like,
and it did happen by accident. So I've never had that policy in my class. And so even when I was allowed to, I could give a fuck if you're on your cell phone the entire time. So it doesn't bother me. It's your money, yeah. So it's
at that level, yes. If I'm at the high school level, no.
Well, no, and that's why yeah they have a policy where it stays in your locker until
Yeah.
your lunch, and then the end of the day, and if it gets confiscated during the day, we'll release it to your parents.
Right.
you know,
That I'm fine with. That I'm absolutely fine with. Anything that actually has gulagian tendencies is usually the direction that I'm going to be going. Yes.
yeah, no, um, but I've had,
But you have to remember that if a cell phone is detained, it comes with its a certain amount of demerits,
oh yeah, yeah,
if you recall.
yeah. I think there is a legal reason why you can't take that phone. It's because there's something that you create. It's called a bailment, if I'm not mistaken.
Go on.
So it's like when you let someone borrow your car. So they have like a legal responsibility to maintain it. So
Okay.
yeah, something like that. It's been a while since I taught that kind of law, but it does create one of those things.
If you confiscate it, you are now
You're
responsible.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the same thing like if the repair shop crashes your car.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. 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 Of course, the repair shop is insured for that. You, as Joe Blow instructor teaching English, not insured for that. So yeah.
Well, no, and I'm not a dickhead. I'm not like I'm not the guy who's over there like, oh, you're on your laptop. Let me freeze this in liquid nitrogen and smash it on the ground. That'll teach you. It's like whatever. Um, no, it's not like that. It's just like, look, here's the rule. If I see the phone,
Mhm.
right? And just to make sure that's within the policy, make sure that they have that within the school. Is like, okay, if you see these will be, as long as you have basically like, if they provide you with, say, some kind of safe or something locking that you can
Yeah, it's
deposit these
coat
things.
check. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly like a coat check. Yeah.
Yep.
So, where you can have a really nice jacket that's worth, several $1,000s or something, like
Yep.
a fur or something.
Yep. Yep.
If they take it, they create, I think it's called a bailment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, where at that point in time, they assume responsibility for it. And if anything happens to it, they are liable for it. I don't know, though. Yeah, I'm sure schools have found a way to weasel out of that with their
Certainly,
lawyers.
absolutely, and good for them. Again, it's just I always side with the teachers. I know that
Yeah. I don't. Yeah,
I know that. Well, no, that's too blanket of a statement for I can say like uh no, that's just molestation. No, that's I don't want I don't want to be on any side. But when it comes down to um methods of being able to dispense with nonsense quickly is where I lie, right? I mean, we're talking like if I really get to go into the full like my way, if I got to do things, and I think I've disgusted people with my views on this already, but I mean like there'd be the call button within the room,
Oh, man.
right? And you'd have like a couple of thugs on retainer or basically in the building.
Goons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like if somebody's getting lippy with you, it's just like this is gonna stop right now,
Or
right?
you're gonna get gooned.
And then if they continue to persist, you hit the button, two goons show up and they say which one. And they escort them out and they take them to a holding cell, kind of a study hall kind of room or whatever, like they have in the Philadelphia stadium, and
Right.
and you're gonna basically write them up. They're going to get their demerits, and that's
Yeah, call your parents. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. No. They've actually been talking for a couple of years about installing panic buttons in our rooms.
I think there absolutely should be.
Absolutely not, man. So, the only reason why that panic button is there is for like a school shooter kind of thing. You know how many times that thing's going to get hit and get false alarmed?
Oh, on accident?
All the time, man. All the time. So, I mean, that's a great way to get out of a test if you're a student. So.
Oh, you mean where the students can get to it?
Well, no, but I mean, everybody's going to know where the fucker is. So, after a little bit of time, so it's like.
Well, shit. Just make it so that it's on your key fob or whatever.
Maybe, I don't know, but you don't. But so like my campus, they have campus police. There's like 2 of them on campus at any given point in time.
All right.
Okay, you know how long it's going to take for them to get there?
Are they in really good shape?
Maybe they might be that guy. It's like, wow, you got a 6-minute mile, man. So, so yeah, you never know, but I doubt it. And then it's just like, it's like they're looking at this as a huge fucking problem, and it's like, why don't you teach everybody CPR? It's much more likely that someone's gonna have a heart attack in your class than any of these other contingencies that you're talking about. So I mean, it's just like rank ordering things based upon like how likely something's actually occurred. The idea that you're actually gonna have a school shooter is fucking like it's getting struck by lightning and bitten by a shark in the same day. So
Well, okay, so
you're gonna spend thousands of dollars to rig this thing out that's gonna turn into a nightmare for everybody. So for a minuscule probability event where we could spend a half an hour learning CPR, and that might actually save somebody's fucking life. So,
oh well, okay.
and the nursing department will just do that. They don't charge us.
Well, no.
Right.
I think we're talking about 2 very different scenarios.
Well, you're using it for like if you have goons coming in. My school doesn't have goons. So if I have a student who's unruly in class, I don't call the cops. So I just cancel the class. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, obviously we're not in the mood for this today, so I'm not going to put up with this shit. I'm not going to ask you guys to either. Off we go.
You get to do that.
Yeah.
In the public system, that's what I'm talking about.
You've got goons in your public system.
Absolutely.
See, I don't have goons, so
right.
I don't need panic buttons.
No.
Yeah.
That's fine. I see where you're coming from.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm picturing a high school. It's like, yeah, you have a centralized set of goons.
You have a team,
volunteers,
special weapons assault team, that shows up for certain circumstances.
Yes.
So now, like, to be fair, my daughter's school does have goons, so they're armed goons too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very nice, But like, I remember when we were in school, you didn't have goons. You had a teacher who was a goon because he was like in charge of the wrestling team.
Yep.
We still don't need a panic button, man.
Again,
I mean, it's better if you just pick up the phone, say like, "Hey, I need goons over here," because then the kid's got like 3 minutes to sit there and dread it.
Nah, the button works better.
Okay.
I'd argue that the button works better.
See, I just hold the phone. I'd be like, the number is 9, right? My finger's heading towards the 9. Do I need to do this today, Jimmy?
No, it's more. It's basically more arguing, which is just. It's like, no, we're not. I'm not going to engage in arguing. I'm gonna hit the button, and when they come in, I'm gonna say that one.
See, I'm always a verbal warning guy. So.
Well, you get a verbal warning. It's
right,
like,
that would be my verbal warning.
You just say you'd be like, "This stops now."
Yeah.
Or you're going to be removed.
Yeah.
You will be detained without rights.
Fifth Amendment for you, buddy. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what they will do is they will take you down to processing. And in processing, our extraction experts will...
You're gonna waterboard your kids? Yeah. Give it up, Jimmy. We know Muggsy put you up to it. So, come on, man. I don't know, man, but I'm glad I don't teach at that level. I couldn't do it. So, I absolutely, positively couldn't do it.
I could do it if I had the tools that I just said.
Well, a lot of people can do it, then. So they say, well, I could play in the NBA if I was 11 feet tall. So, it's like, you know what? So could I. It'd be great.
If I had access to a step ladder, yes, it's not a problem. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
If I had gadget arms and legs.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are the things that I wouldn't want to. I distinctly won't deal with at this point.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I know some young teachers. So, we'll see if they stick with it. next few years. So,
I hope they do.
I hope so too.
I always
man.
hope they do.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I got one, and she particularly likes dealing with 7th graders, and I'm like, wow, that's weird. So that's a rare gift if you can go home not wanting to murder things every night after dealing with those people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she likes to talk shit to them too, and so it's like that's a good strategy. So that they'll respect that. So
You know, I would not approach 7th graders at this point unless I had the authority to like inspect them with a white glove. To be able to walk in. To be able to walk in and just be like, spit that gum out.
right,
Sit up straight.
Sit up straight.
Comb that hair. Yeah.
Did you use deodorant today? Start. Now there's some in the drawer up there.
Yeah, it's the school stuff. It's
the Mitchums.
Yeah.
Industrial grade. Yeah. The last 3 days, you're gonna have to peel that off carefully.
Yeah. It's like, so, well, since you didn't have it on, you get to wear the special aluminum silicate that was made in chemistry class that we have to apply with a brush.
Like peanut butter.
It goes on outside your clothes.
Yeah. It's getting warm. Yeah, it'll do that.
Yeah, I hate to go back to my my Goodyear guy. Not my problem.
Not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha, bro. I gotcha. Like I said, I just couldn't do that. It's not. I could find, if it was that stilted, right, I would find joy in bringing a little bit of energy to the classroom, right?
Yeah.
But just knowing that I had the tools of Gestapo tactics at my disposal to take care of outliers, and again with the threat of, if you accrue this many demerits, yes, you're gone. You are out of this school. Your parents still have to pay for you to get this, right? That debt will be given to you upon your graduation.
Yeah.
Which can be worked off through some kind of civil service. I don't know.
Go dig ditches. Yeah.
I think. Well, see, this would be my school to army pipeline. This would be like.
Army's having a hell of a time recruiting right now.
Are they?
Yeah, I saw like the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. I mean, the Marines always hit their quota, but like they're having a bitch of a time. In fact, they raised the recruiting age for the Navy up to like 40.
Really?
So, yeah, really. So, it's just like, yeah, that's what happens when your economy is just fucking soaking up every last person it can get right now.
It is, but I mean, this is the tough thing is they're just not making as much money. I mean, they are. It's their money is not going as far as it should.
Okay, yeah, no, they're making
the
they're
dollar
making more
amount.
money, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
No, but it's not going.
But it's not keeping up.
Yeah, but
You would be ashamed. Like, it was ridiculous how few groceries $122 bought me today.
Oh yeah, no, they're expensive. I mean, that's why I love the Costco, man. I mean, their prices didn't really go up that much. You know, but they got all the supply chain behind them. They got the scale, everything. You know, the King Supers is quite expensive. Yeah. I mean, we still get groceries from there every now and then because there's like shit that you don't want. A full case of 64.
That's sort of, if I have a case of 64, then I'm, obligated to either eat it or throw it away when it goes bad.
Yeah. So, no, I don't know, man. They said gas was actually higher in Colorado than it is just about anywhere else in the United States right now, except for Hawaii, of course.
Yeah.
So
Hawaii.
I was wondering why that was. So I didn't see a reason for it, though.
I didn't look.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive. I know it's expensive, nationwide.
Yeah, but it's more expensive here. They had that on the News 13 the other night, so they didn't really go into why. So.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, if they don't know, they don't know. I'm glad they didn't speculate. I'm glad.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. I'm glad. I'm glad that the news guys here weren't like, gas is higher than it is anywhere else.
Yeah.
Thank the Freemasons for that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Thanks,
or...
Obama. Yeah. We've been watching you.
Somewhere Obama was like, the fuck?
The fuck? Yeah.
What did I do? I was here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's there are some, you know, economic indicators that weren't looking too positive.
No, inflation's still. I mean, because it still compounds. See, that's the problem with it.
Yeah, that
So,
sucks.
yeah, no, but that's the way that it works, man.
Yeah.
It always has. So, I saw that China is starting to starting to export deflation now. So,
How do you do that?
by reducing the amount that you actually export, making just about everything else that you do export cheaper. So, when there's less demand for the shit that you've been exporting. So, because people are tired of dealing with your bullshit, the stuff that you do have left over to export gets cheaper. Ergo, you export your deflation. So,
All right.
yeah.
Does that work?
I don't know. From what I've seen, this is kind of a new phenomenon. So,
Okay, I mean,
yeah.
when you give me the short version, it sounds like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like there may be like 2 or 3 more lines to that equation that I don't get.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've been reading all this shit on China lately. I watched the China guys last week, and they were talking a little bit about it, and so I did some more digging into that stuff. It is bad, dude. So
It's rough.
it is bad. So they stopped like publishing all their economic data,
Yes.
and so when you do that,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
When you can't even put out the cooked shit.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, and their shit is way cooked. So
And they just they don't want you talking about it.
yeah, didn't they busted a huge disinformation ring like 2-3 days ago?
Disinformation, yeah.
Well, what was it?
I can't remember the full details of it, but yeah, I just saw the headline, so I'm not going to speak about it
Okay.
in detail. But
Well,
yeah.
there's this guy that I watch, and he actually details like some of like he'll track accounts and see how they kind of work on those things. Yeah,
okay.
it's really interesting kind of cybersecurity shit. I don't know that much about it, but that'd be a discussion for William.
Like I said, I know a
Some point in
guy.
time. Yeah, so see if he actually deals with any of that stuff. This guy goes through there and he'll find like accounts that repeat messages, but they're different posts, sometimes in different languages.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
but they're AI generated. You can tell by the scripting and
Yes,
things like that.
yeah.
And he'll post on, and these guys they'll test things out by posting comments on like fucking YouTube or Twitter and stuff like that, and then wait for like somebody who's verified. Like you have a verified YouTube account to comment that on, or if you have a verified X account for the whatever it is.
Yes.
So X account, comment on that, and then they'll amplify whatever you say by retweeting whatever you said in terms of theirs. So now it's like laundering fucking bullshit. So it's kind of interesting. So, but apparently they had a huge one in China that was like cranking out all this shit on Facebook and TikTok of course. So
Okay. Yeah.
that they were able to identify and shut down. That's weird, man. That's weird. I've seen a little bit of that on the Ukraine stuff, where I've like fallen for things. I was like, oh, okay, got it. Oops.
Well, I don't know, man. There are. I don't know how to take this at this point. I mean, more money just got shipped out to there. I mean, it's a never-ending supply.
Well, no, it ends in October, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been sending money out based upon last year's appropriation. So the last appropriation was last September. So we send them so much money every single month. That was that original $65 billion. We didn't send them all to them once. And we don't send them the money anyway. We send it to fucking Raytheon. So, so then we give them our leftover tanks. It's a scam, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Ukraine's basically paying to upgrade our entire army.
This is absurd.
But that money doesn't really go there, man. It goes to Raytheon, and Lockheed gets a lot of it, and the other one is General Dynamics. They're the ones who built all the Bradleys for them. So
Not sure that there is a at least a small percentage that is dedicated to like humanitarian relief or something.
yeah,
like
it's
that.
like
Some
less than
kind of
10%.
way, yeah.
But yeah. And then so like there's a breakdown on it that I saw a while ago. It's like like 80% of it is military aid, so almost all of which is actually spent domestically. So because we don't just like send them brand new javelins, we send them our old ones because they're about to expire, and then we buy new ones for ourselves with that money, which they have to pay back. So this is fucking scam. So and then the other thing is like there's another like 25 or 30% slice of that actually does go direct to Ukraine, but it goes to pay their bills. So like if they have like fire departments and shit, we just direct supplement those. So, and this is part of the European plop or stuff that they send over there too.
No, European plop is kind of a good description. Yeah, that's sort of.
Well, they've sent almost as much money as we have now. So.
Yeah, they're a continent.
Oh yeah, they're attached.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's like 10-15% that goes towards like buying medical supplies and shit like that. So it's actually a lot more transparent than people say it is. It's
a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but there's a false thing out there. There's this fucking stupid ass narrative that I keep hearing. It's like, well, that's money we could spend on healthcare in the United States. And it's like, no,
these things are unrelated.
These are totally unrelated. Right. You'd actually have to punch that through Congress, like this was. Okay. So stop telling me that, this will feed, cure poverty in America. And, we could buy everybody in LA an apartment with this. It's like, no, you can't, because you'd have to get that through Congress.
Patrick, I'm going to say this. I cannot tell you, because you introduced this to me, every time it comes up in something I'm reading, watching, or whatever, I now say rent control.
Rent control. You see it everywhere, don't you?
Yeah. If it comes up, I have to stop what I'm doing and say it. Like if I get a whiff of it, it's there.
It's out there, man.
Dude,
it's like you're driving down the highway and you smell it. It's like, oh, someone hit a skunk, and it's like it could be 10 miles away, and you're like, yep, that's what that is. That's a very distinct smell.
This reeks of rent control. I know.
See it all the time now, man. So
no, there's some rough spots when it comes to this. Yes, that is a lot of money.
It is.
No, it doesn't mean that. Again, it's that. Look, man, whataboutism is the least most useless form of arguing on the planet.
It is terrible.
I have no place for it. And again, as somebody that is deliberately driving engagement, right, by provoking people into bad faith arguments, if you dive into whataboutism, then yes, I get to label you a moron right off the jump, right? Yeah. Because these things, it's like, I'm sorry, you seem to be confusing an apple with a Ford Edsel, because these things...
Yeah. The guy who's been doing it the most lately, and it's really pissing me off because I love this dude to death, is Greenwald. He's been banging on that drum for like 6 months now. I love that dude to death,
Which
man.
Are you talking about?
The money, we could use it to fix so many problems in America. It's like... You of all motherfuckers should know that's not how it works, man. So this shit got passed through Congress on an appropriations bill. If you want it for rent control, you need to punch through a bill that says rent control.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna re-up it, man. So I mean, it's still got to get through the House, man. So. I don't know if they're going to re-up. If they do re-up it, I bet you it'll be half what it was before. So
that I could see, and what, that I could actually understand. That's something I'm like, all right, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, my whole thing here is there is a form of this where they have talked about where they say, all right, so you're spending this much on Ukraine, and the $700 that went to the people in Maui, right?
Yeah.
I can look at this and say, like, yes, this is still whataboutism. They are two separate issues, and handle them as such. But you can at least say, hey, this is how much you've given outside. Think about us in here in a disaster situation, right? Yeah. That I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Because it's not saying that you must take from here to give to this. You can say, guys, we've given this much here.
Yeah.
All right. I get it.
Yeah.
Look, Pat, this is the thing that breaks my heart with this, okay? Because, yes, I understand that this was, and this is a multifaceted fuck-uppery when it came to Maui and how this was handled, but the part of this that I can say, like, as much as my sympathies go with you, right? And it's more so about the deaths that happen in here. Like,
The deaths are terrible. Yeah.
but on the other side, I'm like, y'all are in Maui.
Yeah, okay. So you
guys,
and I hit the same speed bump.
right?
Yeah. It's kind of like, wait a minute. So State Farm's going to come in and build you a brand new house in Maui? That's going to be nice. Yeah, I'm sorry you lost this one that you've lived in it for 45 years, but and that does suck, and especially if you lost a dog or a cat, let alone your grandma. That's
so
terrible.
if you lost family and you lost your family
Yeah.
memories, yes, of course, I totally understand.
Yeah,
But as far on a financial level, you guys are fine, man.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, it's like same thing with that big fire in Boulder like 2 years ago.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, where it scraped down an entire neighborhood to the sidewalks. Now, very few, if anybody died in that one.
I don't know if anyone did.
I don't know if they did. Maybe it was like one or two. So
I think a handful of like goldfish didn't make it, but I mean,
well, yeah, people lost pets.
yeah,
because it was a very fast fire. But it was one of those things where, okay, you know, this sucks and we're here to support you and stuff. $700 check's not really going to get you anywhere. What really helps you at this point in time is, okay, we're going to put you up in a hotel for a little while until your insurance kicks in, and then they put you up in a hotel.
Exactly.
Great. And I mean, you can go down to Florida. They're fucking professionals at this, you know, at this point in time. And so, you know, I mean, they got a hurricane going on right now. And it's barely a blip on the news.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, that's Florida. So,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know, it happens in Maui on a really idyllic beach that very few of us will ever even get the chance to see in our lives. You know, it's all of a sudden kind of like, yeah, so if Malibu burnt down, I don't think we'd be sending them $700 checks, you know, so...
Well, again, it'd be the campaign on this, you know, would be like it would be, you know, like a disaster. But you know, you're right.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did say, and this of course is something that Maui is going to have to look out for, is this a situation where opportunists come in and basically buy up swaths of land?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
they
got
will,
it.
you know, and I mean, if they write enough zeros on the check, I wouldn't hold it against anybody if they decide to take it. So,
What if it was your place?
Well, yeah. It's like, well, you know, I had this like fucking shack on the beach that, you know, had been here since World War II. You know, it's like, but I own the land.
It's made of Spam cans.
Yeah, it's made of Spam cans and fucking rusty Japanese destroyer parts, you know. So whatever.
I just watched a bunch.
Yeah, watched a bunch. Yeah. So, yeah. Sure, you know, and you come and you say, like, yeah, in Maui, you say before my house is worth like $1 million, and they come in and like, well, we'll give you $1 million for that. It's like, nah, it was worth $1 million. You need to draw at least one more zero on that check, maybe two. So, you know, or we can negotiate between those 2 points because that's a lot of money. So
right. Yeah, it's like we can meet in the middle somewhere. Yeah.
Now I don't want to talk shit about it either, but
no, because that sucks.
Well, it does suck. Yeah.
That's why I was reluctant to say it, but there is a part of me that in the back of my mind, I'm like, you guys will be fine.
Yeah. So, but the part that I will talk a little shit about is I've known plenty of people from Hawaii.
Yeah.
They do not speak very highly of the competence of their state government. So
why? I don't.
It's island. Everybody's on island time, man. So like the traffic is terrible. The roads are always fucked. If you call for a police car, it comes in like an hour. You know, and that's on the big island. That's on the island with most of the people on it, let alone the other ones. Yeah, Oahu. Yeah. And so, I mean, I've known. Let's see. I had a student. Yeah.
We worked with a guy from Hawaii too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I worked with a guy from Hawaii.
A cool guy, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've worked with several people from Hawaii. Yeah, actually, Cindy used to be. She was from Hawaii. She was from Oahu. She was the one who talked the most shit about it. But she's like, "You ever gonna go back?" She's like, "Hell no." So you know, she's like, "You don't get sick in Hawaii because you know the hospitals suck." And all kinds of things, but you know, I remember talking to her. I was like, "Why is that?" She's just like, "Everybody's chill, so you know, it's like not a big deal." So don't worry about that. You know, yeah, it's close enough to being at code. You know, whatever. You know, it's just different place, man. So, and 9 times out of 10, that's fine. Then you get dinged once, and then all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh my god," you know. So, but it's also like, who is in charge here?
Right.
It wasn't Joe Biden. I know you guys want to bang him, and he deserves every last hit with the stick he can get for this shit. but he wasn't in charge of this shit the week before.
No, but the fucking dope that was over there talking
Yeah,
about,
it
like,
was
I'm not
dope.
going to release, water to this because we're respecting the spirits. I'm like,
Who said that?
the fucking, like, the disaster coordinator, the guy in
Okay,
charge of.
that's very Hawaii.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like, listen, we can debate the finer points of your fucking island voodoo after the fires are out. We can make amends to
We
them
just lost
later.
our Hawaiian audience, man. Yeah.
You said they're chill. They're not gonna.
Right. Okay.
Well, the guys who lost their houses, like, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
fuck them.
Fuck those guys in Colorado. Fuck them.
No, they're cursing their government right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. But yeah, that's the. You worry about that after that's done,
Right.
right? And if people want to come at you, I never want to be on the thing where it's like, I made the decision to withhold the water to appease the island spirits.
I don't want to be that guy.
I would much rather be the guy that says, look, I understand the Mahuptu is upset with me, and I will take that.
Yeah.
All right? And he may curse me for 7 generations, but I'd rather have the fires out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd rather feed the cheese to the lactose intolerant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's in a leadership position. That's what you do. Is you
Yeah.
take the vengeance of Mahuptu.
Right, and I mean, like here we get fires all the time where it's like people are super serious about it. So
People don't fuck around.
no,
here.
they don't. So because we've been through that shit before many times. So it's like, oh, there's a fire. It's like, well, so let me pack some water.
Right.
Let me get my go bag.
Yes.
Let me dig out my cat carrier just in case.
Let me get my trapper keeper of family
Right.
valuables.
So I do. I have a red folder at my home. It's full
Yeah,
of all this shit
I know.
that,
I know.
it's like, yeah, this would be a bitch to replace if it got burned up in a fire. So
Yeah, I got one of the little zip up.
Yep.
Yeah,
the collapsible ones. Yeah.
it's not collapsible. I don't have an accordion of documents, but I have a couple of key ones that are in the zip up thing.
Okay.
So yeah, if something happens, it's like I got it. But yeah, that's us, right?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, and like the volcano erupts on the Big Island, and people were like, chill. They're like, yeah, it happens, man. It's like, where's the lava flow going? It's like, it's coming right for your house, Bob. He's like, well, I guess I better pack up my shit. If what is it, Pele decides to take my house, so
That is the
volcano god.
Yeah.
Then so be it, and then you get a new one in a couple of years.
See, again, that's the thing. This is the part that gets to me. It's like Pele is like Allstate. I mean, that's the thing. It's you have to pay tribute to the god that's actually replacing your shit.
Right. Yeah.
Right. In a roundabout way, where it's like, well, the Pele takes it and he gives back. It's like, well, he wouldn't give you shit if you weren't paying your premiums.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Pele likes his income stream. So yeah.
Pele gets it.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever deals happen on the cosmic plane, it's like, well, you shake my hand, I'll shake yours. Right? It's fine. When it comes to, like, you mentioned it, like bureaucratic perfection between demigods, Florida has it all.
They got it figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it figured out.
It's those guys have you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
It's like, so you come in there, it's like, all right, so what was done? All right, so we need to raise this house, this house, this house, this house. Those ones are fine.
Yeah.
These ones need this.
Yep.
You guys, you could still live here, but God, we got to build something on this side where the wall is, where the wind is coming in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is not like Louisiana. So it's just like, just build it all again the way that it was before. Brad Pitt will make a couple houses that'll survive the next one.
Dude, there are places, man. They're like, well, isn't that why you were telling me that there are places that just like, no, we don't insure here anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, would you, unless you saw like some commitment to?
No, yeah. It's like, well, if you're committed to living here, man, you gotta protect yourself. Well, it's the same thing up here. If you live up in the hills, it's a bitch to get any kind of like fire insurance. So, and if you do get it, you have to have like brush cleared like fucking 20 yards away from your house.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And, you got to actually go through and do the mitigation every now and then. So, yeah, there's all kinds of rules behind that. That's all for a good reason, man. So, yeah, I don't think they probably did too much in that, part of Maui that was basically built out of World War II scrap. You know.
I love that. I love the idea of Maui. Fucking parts of blown up ships are just drifting ashore, and these hermit crab
Yeah.
people are just.
It looks like fucking Tailspin, you know.
Which is, I don't know. I don't know. There's a really fair way to describe the Hawaiians, but yeah. Again, it's Maui, and I'm like, every single one of you guys, minus the family losses, are going to be taken care of.
Yeah,
like, you guys were in great shape
You'll be
before.
Right. You got a nice piece of land here, man. So it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, in 2 years. So especially with how much it rains there.
But don't. What you cannot do is go in there like. So yeah, I left some toast in my toaster for too long, and it almost blew up my '67 Corvette. I know exactly how you guys feel.
Yeah, no, you can't do that, man. God dang, dude. I can't even watch him anymore, man. It's like it's painful. I mean, even
it's like having a family member that you know has lost it.
Yeah, you feel bad for him, man. Yeah. So it's like, please don't give the Christmas speech this year, Grandpa. Yeah, please.
Right.
Please, yeah, you know, let's not do another toast before you realize that Grandma's been dead for 8 years. So, you know, kind of. Yeah.
Right. I was just talking to Jenny the other day. I'm like, you were?
You were?
What'd you talk about?
You mean me, Mom? So,
yeah.
It's good. You know, you've got a plot like kind of staked out next to her.
Right. She died 2 years after we left the old country.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's pitiful.
It's terrible, man. The Democrats are. I don't know, man. I can't get a good read on it. So because like I had to go through my YouTube subscriptions the other day. I had to scrub a lot of fuckers out of there.
Who got axed?
So my Kansas City boys, my socialist Kansas City boys got axed.
They got axed.
They got
finally
axed,
got.
Yeah. So I like them, and I might go check them in every now and then. But they are just. I cannot tolerate this like. Glenn Greenwald's like one of the guys that I'll continue to listen to, even though he is really far away from where I am on anything on Ukraine and foreign policy now.
Yeah.
So these two guys are full blown Max Blumenthal assholes. So and I cannot listen to that guy. So I don't think it'd be possible for him or Aaron Mate to actually say anything nice about America ever. So and knowing like Aaron Mate, he's Canadian, so he doesn't even fucking count. So, you know, he Jimmy Dore got scrubbed because I can't listen to him anymore either. So I'm down on lefties now, man. I'm down.
It's become intolerable.
I'm down to a couple of things. I will keep the faith with him, man. So I actually listen to his shit whenever he posts it.
Of course.
So, you know, he does bring up a lot of good points. I think he's very competent. He's definitely on point with all the Donald Trump trials, so and stuff. Because again, lawyer, so you don't take legal advice from townies. So, so he's good on that. But I cannot tolerate his stuff on like him and a bunch of these other guys going on about BRICS this week and BRICS doesn't even fucking really exist, man. It was invented by Goldman Sachs. So as an investment fund, you know, and then they decided, oh, that's a good name. We're going to use that later.
It's a great
name.
Then
what are you guys going to do? Nothing except for argue with each other and let more riffraff in. Oh, okay. So this isn't a serious thing, is it? You know,
it doesn't seem like
it's definitely.
I mean, unless there's some aspect to it that I'm seeing that has implications or something in there that I don't quite understand. But to me, it seems like an idea that's really sort of failure to launch. It's just like, all right, whatever you're trying to accomplish or whatever sort of confederation you're trying to put together, it's like, this is powerless.
Well, and it's all dependent on China. So, that's like, if you actually take a look at where the wealth is, you know, spread amongst all those, that's like 80% of it right there. So, and all the growth, you know, is right there too. Well, maybe some in India too, because India's actually kind of turned its shit around a little bit. But
they're growing.
Well,
they're actually growing. China is not.
China is not,
but
rapidly degrowing.
So this was the other thing that I saw was that the as much of the middle class of China that can escape is escape.
They're trying.
Yeah, and we're talking about like stuffing in like cargo, you know, containers and shit. Just like get out.
Get out. Yeah. So and that's the whole thing that China guys are talking about last week about the gold payments. So they're actually starting to pay. You know, like their copays in gold, because it's like, oh, okay, well, there's no guarantee that this will actually be worth something down the road. So let me take half of that in this, which is highly transferable if you can get out of the country, So,
Yeah.
yeah, but,
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine if they opened up, like they talked about a little while ago, actually opening up some of the crypto markets there again. Fucking, it would be closed in 15 minutes, man, because
Yeah.
money would fly out of that motherfucker.
Just did it. It would.
Yeah.
It would be the world's biggest water slide, because that's the thing. Water does not go back up. It
What?
does not. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It would be a water slide.
Yeah.
It'd be a money water slide. Yeah. So no, man, it's just a joke. And so I had to scrub some of those guys. There were a couple others that I had to murder off there too. But it's just like I'm hearing the same things on the left hand side.
The right hand side is pretty goddamn annoying too.
So I'm limited on my right hand side. So I listen to some of these old fuckers that come out of California. They're great. And then, there's some like old traditional, like conservative guys, like Reaganite guys that I still listen to here and there. They're kind of hard to find because they're all dead. So, but they're still around. I would say that one that I listen to the most regularly on the right is still Ben Shapiro. So
That's fine.
yeah, he's fine. Yeah, no, he doesn't piss me off at all. So in fact, I find myself agreeing with him more on things more and more I listen to him. So, but then, yeah, the left is just it's like there's all these people who are like, well, it's patently obvious that Joe Biden is not going to be able to run. And it was like, yes, okay, but your solution to this is to let Cornel West into the Democratic Party. So that's not going to work. So you just want him because he's socialist. So I smell your skunk.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, this week was when they started going after him for tax stuff, and they
are.
So clearly they're not completely on board, because otherwise this would have come out a while ago.
No, these are completely different guys. So yeah, no, the tax stuff is absolutely. I'm telling you, that's what's going to get Hunter, man. So that's absolutely going to fucking that's a missile that's on lock already, and it's been fired. So it's out there cruising around.
I await to see exactly what happens. There's the
unless Joe ducks out. If Joe ducks out, it's not an issue anymore, and it just fucking goes away. So it shouldn't, but it will. So.
Well, all right. So I guess this would be my perspective, right? So if I'm going to take a look right now and say, because realistically, Patrick, the elections are not as far away as we think.
They're a year.
Right?
Yeah.
They're not as far away as we think. So, I mean, if we're talking about getting in somebody...
Well, still 25% of a presidency. That's...
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, if you're talking about getting somebody to replace an incumbent president, this is sort of a...
I think that would be faster than, because you think back to 2016, it took about from now until about next April before Donald Trump really kind of emerged as, I'm the guy. So it did take a while.
I totally understand that. But the thing is, all right, you are talking about replacing incumbent president. Yeah. You are talking about somebody who is in the co-pilot seat who nobody likes.
No, she'll lose the election handily.
I mean, like, single percentages, because I don't think anybody, I mean, it's just, I can tell when some people I mean, I understood her personality when I noticed, like, there are people that just, when they don't get something, they just start laughing.
Yeah.
And that's who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's your way of deflecting from, I don't understand this, right? And she's been doing that for her entire, career. And who
called her out on that? Someone called her out. She said that she comes across as a prosecutor, and nobody likes prosecutors. She's trying to make bad jokes. So, but the jury's not laughing. Someone said that.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay. Got it.
Yeah.
That's about right. But I mean, that's your second source right there. If Biden were to step away right now. There's no, like, clear front runner.
No. I mean, Gavin Newsom probably couldn't get in. I mean, he might get on the top of the ticket, but he won't carry it. So, and everybody knows that. I mean, like, okay, so if you're smart and if you're in the Democrat Party, you kind of like, okay, write this one off as a loss. So, and then so you let Kamala Harris, because if she gets shown the door, she'll never get fucking back in. So yeah, she won't get a
Right.
senator spot. She won't get a judgeship. She won't be on an administration. She'll be done. She'll be gone. So she'll be Dan Quailed, So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're smart in the Democrat Party, and there's a few of them left, like Chuck Schumer's not a dumb guy. So I mean, he says stupid things, but he does it just to keep his position.
Well, absolutely.
So yeah, but I mean, he's definitely very very sharp. I mean, more so than Mitch McConnell these days, which is unfortunate.
That dude.
I always like that dude, man.
You can always tell like
brain art reset.
Yeah, man, you can always tell when it's just you're like I can't replace components in this computer anymore. I'm gonna have to get a new one, right? And he is just about there.
I can't even get this on eBay.
Dude, it's rough. Yeah. There's like when you look at him, there's like a fucking there's like a Tandy or a Commodore like CPU in there.
Right.
He is like the last running Amiga on this planet.
Yeah, but he was my stalwart in the Republican Party for years. I never liked him personally, but I did respect his ability to politics.
Well, I think that's the thing is he's in the unenviable position of corralling the retards, and that's never a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's definitely fried his brain, man. So yeah.
It's not easy, man. You could look at him and it's like he's got walking PTSD. He's like these guys, these children that I work with.
Right, where's my panic button?
Yeah,
send in the goons.
And you can tell that there are. You're like Skywalkering this guy. It's like I can feel the conflict within you, and he's lying. He's just like there's none. I'm like yeah, there is. Yeah. I can tell that you have thoughts, but you have been speaking this polished whatever it is, this consensus bullshit, right?
Yeah.
To keep because I mean, without him in place, this is the problem. Is yes, I think he's kind of like. I think that he's been sort of like a problem lately because there's like, all right, to me, of course, with all the shit, they should be releasing the hounds and going after everything that they can with full impunity. But the thing is, he's like, no, we can't do that, right? We gotta be cool.
Well, he doesn't control the Senate.
No,
so, yeah.
but I mean, but this is the thing is there's part of him that's like, I gotta be this piece for the party. I cannot let the Marjorie Taylor Greens be the voice of this party. I can't let Jim
Jones or whatever his name is.
What's that guy? Yeah. Well, not Jim Jones. He's the Kool-Aid guy.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a cool enough association.
Jim Jeffries? What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a psychopath. So,
right.
Yeah, that guy's a psychopath. He's actually dangerous because he gets committee chairs. So, but I mean, he's doing a good job on his own, 2 feet. But I wouldn't ever want to see him.
Yeah, the Matt Gateses and
Matt Gaetz is an idiot. So
he looks AI generated. He looks like
he might be. Man.
You ever look at him?
Yeah.
There's something that's just not quite human about it. So you're just kind of like. If you typed into the thing and it said just show me a human that's a little bit off, that's what it would.
Yeah, more human. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is fucking amazing. So, but the Democrats, they got a couple smart guys, and they might. I mean, they've done it before. Both parties have done it before. They pulled the fucking ripcord. So they say, all right, so this is where we're going. Okay, so it's gonna be bad. It's going to be real bad, all right? It's going to be bad for a couple of years, but coach says it's the right play. We're going to rebuild the team.
This is a rebuilding season,
yeah. We're going to rebuild the team.
We're not going to win every game.
We're not going to win every game.
But if we learn from it, that's the important part.
Yeah. So, I mean, their strategy, if I was playing blue team on this one, would be do whatever it takes to retain the Senate and fuck everything else. So, because that way at least you have a seat at the table. Because the last thing you want to do is let Donald Trump get back in there with full control of both the House and the Senate.
That is my thing. It's like you were saying, does this whole Joe Biden thing go away? Now, that's my argument is I don't think it does, because I'm gonna, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, I think this election's already done. Okay.
I'm pretty close to that conclusion. I mean, he's still got a year, and Donald Trump has lost a step or two, man. So not as bad as Joe Biden, but you're not going to see either of those two fuckers on debate stage. So next year, so
No.
no, it won't happen.
No.
So,
But that's the thing is I feel fairly confident at this point that there's going to be a regime change, and that's where
yeah.
it's going to be a question of, all right, is he going to let it go, or is this something where he took this shit personally? Because look, all right, I will say it this way, because in other circumstances, I might argue that it's probably prudent just to say, all right, he's gone, problem solved. But when somebody has been basically stoking the DOJ the way that this administration
Sure.
and the idiots in it have, right? It's not just the prosecution of him, it's that this needs to be fucking sorted out so this isn't done. And if there is some action on that, I'm okay with it.
Oh, sure. I could see him doing that. I think, quite honestly, there will be bigger fish for him to fry at that point in time, because his so the first half of his presidency, if he does have a split period, a split inning presidency, making that a very unique experience in American history. It's only happened once before. So
Yeah,
Cleveland.
yeah.
So he's gonna have the next leg of his presidency is gonna be 100% foreign policy based, and that's gonna have nothing to do with him. It's gonna be purely reactionary. There's bad shit coming, man. So it's just not gonna. You're not gonna be able to get out of it.
Okay.
There's bad shit coming, man.
It's funny because I'm sort of with you, right? And I can't even put and this is the thing, I'm not an expert, and nobody out there really is. I mean, this is sort of like the thing, it's sort of like meteorology. It's like, look, I can look at trends over years, but I can also tell you that I can't give you an accurate prediction more than 7 days out. What I can say is I can look at things right now, and it's sort of giving me a feeling in my bones that there's like a reckoning coming.
Yeah.
Like something unresolved. I don't know where it is. I don't know where the gaps are, and I don't know who's going to instigate it. But I feel like there's some kind of like reckoning that's been overdue for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the term reckoning because it always means like, well, something got fucked up and so it needs to get rectified.
But that's the thing is to me, that's the feeling that's coming out of it is basically like there's some kind of like, and this is not to say that it's real, but like perceived inequality, perceived injustice, perceived whatever it may be, right? That
what, domestically?
No, on a larger scale.
Yeah, maybe
on a larger scale, because I mean there's certain things where, again, if you look at the way like the power balance has changed over the past 100 years, right?
Sure.
And you take a look at all of Europe, and you have a people that's like, well, actually, to compete with you, we have to act as one big unit. We don't really like each other.
We don't really want to do that. Well, I mean, some of them do.
Some of them do, or some of them want to say they do, but they don't want to either.
Yeah,
right?
well, they let some people in there that shouldn't be in there. So hungry, but
the situation
maybe
with Poland,
Turkey,
over there at the side.
Poland's really interesting, man. So yeah, Poland would march on Moscow tomorrow. So
undoubtedly,
yeah. If given the opportunity, like a lot of it will depend on what happens with Vladimir Putin. He's a Civ player, man. That's what he's that guy that you just don't want to play the game with anymore because he's being a dick. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'd like to flip this over, and I gotta go to bed. I gotta take my kid to work tomorrow, kind of thing. And geez, like one more turn, So, and so Donald Trump, if he gets back in the office, he'll go back over there. He probably will be able to tamp that down a little bit. But the Ukrainians are so fucking pissed because this dude showed up and wrecked all their stuff. And all that stuff about, the 2014 election being rigged and stuff, that's bullshit. It's all bullshit. So Ukrainians all fucking know that. So,
Okay. my understanding is it's bullshit, but they know it's bullshit.
Exactly.
Right.
So, yes.
So
they know it's a bullshit excuse. So for Putin to come into their country and try and wreck their shit. So they know it's bullshit, and so they feel. I mean, you just read some of the stuff or just watch some of the channels that come from people who are actually there. They are so mad, so that they will be mad for a generation. And so Donald Trump come in, they're not going to stop fighting. So he'd be like, hey, knock it off. I'm going to stop the aid. Mr. Putin, you're going to behave. And they'll sign paper and they'll just fight. They'll just keep fighting. So, and it'll cost hundreds of thousands of lives. So, over the course of the next 10 years. So, because you can't poke a hornet's nest and then stick your finger in the bottom of the hole and not get stung. So,
well, I mean, this is one of the rough spots. Is this is where you get to the crowd that's still tacking the blue and yellow into their X profiles.
I don't think they fully understand what's going on over there.
Well, because there's this thing. It's like, well, we should have been intervening. I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me just point this to you. Okay, like, no offense, but we've done this in the past. We're like, all right, well, the smart nations on Earth have decided where we're going to go ahead and draw new boundaries, and that's how that's going to go.
Yeah, it never works.
Right? So we're going to give this to you, we're going to give this to you, and you all play nice from here on out. And
ask anybody in Africa how that works. Yeah.
Oh, Africa's one place, and then you sit there and say, like, actually, okay, so this is Israel. It's like, y'all get out.
Right.
This belongs to you.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of everybody that hates you.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there's the piece where it's like, are you guys going to stop, like, expanding anytime soon?
Mm.
Because, we keep wanting to be on your side, but you keep pressing these people, right? And there has to be a point where you have to say, like, I know we're, like, God's chosen people, but you have to mix that with pragmatism and say, like, cut it out. And again, that's the redrawn borders. That's, a UK thing. That's,
Well, that was Bill Clinton and Yasser Arafat.
Oh, no, I'm talking about 1945. I'm talking about the
48 originally?
Yeah,
well, the whole carve out of the West Bank, we were alive when that happened. So that was in the 90s. That was
a problem.
My understanding is that is the problem. But I don't know that much about the Israeli issue, and the Palestinians. My understanding is that Palestinians are basically impossible to deal with on a certain level. So because it's like negotiating with Indian tribes on the plains. You're cool with one, but all the others fucking attack you.
Right.
So, and you say to that one, "What the hell?" He's like, "Well, those aren't my guys."
Right.
So yeah.
Right. No,
it's almost an impossible situation.
You're not dealing with an organized group. You're dealing with cells.
Right. Exactly.
Who are not aware of each other's actions.
Yeah.
And you can't exactly say like, "Hey guys, well, I want to invite you all."
Yeah.
What are you gonna call it? Well, so this is the scumbag conference. Any of you guys are welcome to attend.
Yeah.
And you need to apply to this. So it's this is a pain in the ass. And again, like you said, the entirety of Africa,
it's a mess.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Look what's happening in South Africa right now.
I don't understand that one either, man. Africa's like this continent that it escapes my ability to fully get my mind around kind of what's going on around there. It's really hard to find experts on it too, who know what they're talking about. So, there's a few here and there that I've run across, but they're dead now. So,
unfortunately, man, it comes in two varieties that I've seen, and neither one, like, all right, I'm just going to say it as nicely as I can. It's the same way that I've seen people talk about Aborigines, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you don't know what it's like out there, right?
Okay,
and this is the same thing when it comes to, like, Africa. They're like, all right, so half of them are basically like, whatever problems are happening right now, it's like, well, this all goes to colonization, from colonization here, and here. This is why whatever they do, they cannot be held accountable for. Like, all right, so how does that solve the problem, right? And then there's the other component that says, that basically comes in there like phrenologists, and basically it's just like, they're an inferior people.
Oh, okay.
And I don't mean that in a
no, he's just not able to
way,
actually govern themselves according to democratic principles. Yeah,
it's just like, okay, so we're not doing anything with you. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. I don't know, man. So I've like over the years I've known a few people from Africa proper.
Yeah.
But they were all from Nigeria, and so
Yes.
Nigeria seems to be a special place where people can actually like get to business,
Right.
and not like topple their government every 15
Right.
minutes. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like it's like the Wakanda that we didn't know was there, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, but that's just one piece of it. So there's a lot more going on there, and I don't really fully understand it. In fact, they had another coup somewhere like yesterday. So, and it's just like, okay, so this is par for the course. And so, like all that stuff, if Donald Trump does get back in the office, that's the shit that's going to drive his presidency, man. Because quite honestly, as bad as like some of the economic indicators are and stuff like that, it's going to be fine. The economy's going to be fine. He's going to inherit a fantastic economy. So, and quite honestly, he deserves some credit for that too. But it is kind of like the weather. It does what it does, So you can get out there and fart as loud as you want. Okay, it might change it a little bit. Okay, but I mean, it's going to be great, man. So
Well, again, Bill Clinton inherited the internet. He did not build it.
exactly. Yeah. Well, neither did George W. Bush, though.
Right.
So yeah. So
Right.
you just kind of get, if it happens on your watch, you kind of get credit for it. So fair enough.
Well, you have to be
So-
the person that basically. So if you're in charge, you have to be the person that doesn't say, right,
Right.
you know what, this is dangerous, and we're gonna shut this off in our country.
You don't want to be that guy.
And that's the kind of thing where your second tier guys, your Chinas, are kind of like, do it, shut it off.
Please do it.
This is our
Oh my God! Yeah.
this is our final.
This
This
is
is
our fucking
this
chance.
is this is how we take down the '80s 49ers.
Yeah.
Right. This is the only way to do this. It was like the ending of free agency. It's like okay, or this is our chance, because that would be the
Right.
only opportunity. Right. You just have to be the guy that says yes when people are like, I don't know,
Yeah.
this seems kind of iffy. It's like, yeah. No, this is good. Go
Yeah.
ahead and order flowers online.
Yeah, exactly. So I miss him. I don't miss what he did to this country in some respects, but I do miss him. So.
I think we've been through this before. I think he's like, I just don't think he was a good liar. That's why I think more often than not he was telling the truth.
I don't think he lied very often at all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't think he did. Speaking of like Chinese opportunities, I got to take a swipe at one last guy tonight.
Absolutely.
This is
Okay.
the Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So speaking of like flagging the signaling the play to the other team, okay?
Okay.
You see his proposal about, well, we don't care about Taiwan. We'll just tell China that, hey, wait 3 years until we actually get our own chip factories set up, and then you can do whatever you want. Did you see? He said that during the debate. So
He said that?
yeah. So, well, I guess it was on one of the follow-up things behind the debate
Oh, was
where
it?
he was talking about that was his Taiwan policy, and it was like, so if you're Xi Jinping, you attack now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's like someone hasn't played much Risk, man. If I can see that you're holding two horses, and you're just about to draw a third, man. So I was like, okay, come on, man. So he'll probably have a spot in the Trump administration if he keeps saying nice things about Donald Trump.
Look, I think that there are people that like him, right?
Oh, I
think-
know there are. Yeah.
I think there are people that like him. I think that there's a certain amount of I think he's cruising on some charisma. I do not think that I don't think he's presidential material.
He might be someday.
Maybe someday, but this is sorry, man. This is the United States, not the UK. There is still
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm sorry. Like you look at their cabinet, it is occupied by foreigners. And that's not to say that he is, but there's still like, I don't know,
man. I think he's got that crypto bro tech thing going on.
A little bit.
Yeah, that needs to wear off a little bit before I think he can get one of those guys. I mean, that's the same thing as Matt Gaetz. He looks like he's generated by AI. So
he does.
Yeah.
And it's again, and this is not to say that I disagree with or hate everything that he says, but there's just a like, if I go away for the weekend, I know you're gonna trash the house. And it's
You're gonna let my cat out? You
no,
asshole.
yeah, exactly. It's like, so like I can't go to work while you're redoing my stairs because you're just not like, that's the one instruction: close the door.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Keep the dishes out of the sink.
That's what I'm saying. And there's a part of it, I don't disagree with everything that you're saying, and I know that there's a certain amount of like passion that you have towards things, but you're a lunkhead. There's still part of you like, I knew what you were. Yeah. This is the story is what it's the frog and the
scorpion
and the scorpion.
Yeah, he's a scorpion.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a frog.
Donald Trump
he's just
was
to everything.
The scorpion.
I don't know if he really was, man. I mean,
in 2016,
was he the scorpion?
Yes.
Who did he backstab?
The party.
I think he kind of went into it, and I think a lot of people kind of knew that was what he was doing. I don't think he had a false flag kind of operation.
That's what I'm saying. People voted Scorpion, but that's the point, is because they wanted this guy out there to actually, right?
Well, and he kind of did. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe not his first year, but
he's the frog now.
Maybe, I don't know, man. I think he's kind of been the frog in some respects. I mean, the thing that's different about him this time around, man, is like, I mean, first of all, he'll hit the ground running.
He has all the momentum.
He has all the momentum, and you know, he can actually do quite a bit to reset a lot of shit. So fairly quickly, it'll be interesting. He won't have all these guys. Like, Biden's got some fairly competent people in his administration. Trump will have nothing but idiots. So who will do exactly what he says? Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I would hold out for a couple here and there. The one that's been quiet is Sarah Sanders. She's probably going to come back out of the woodwork because I think she's getting close to being termed out in Arkansas. So
because I was like, so where's his Kellyanne Conway now? Like there are
she talks shit about him now, so she's out. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, the same thing with the last one, Kelly McEnany or whatever.
Kayla
Yeah.
Actually, she is very pro.
Yeah, but she talks some smack about him too on Twitter, which is a bad idea because he can see that. So now
he's back on.
He's back. I know.
Yeah, he's back.
Is he still truthing out there?
He does.
Okay.
But
is it copy and paste over there now?
Yes, actually, because you got to remember that the source of quote unquote Trump tweets for a while was that those were being copied and pasted from Truth, over bound to Twitter via Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, see. That's one thing I do like about him is he did say his kids would have no part of his administration this time around. So that's good.
I agree.
Yeah, that's good.
I agree. Again, but I don't see the kingmakers right now.
I don't either.
Right in there to do anything. So I don't know. It could be just I would argue because last time around, one of the things that we saw in the Trump administration was turnover. A lot of turnover. And I don't see that getting any better this time around.
Oh, no, it'll be a merry-go-round.
Yeah. I so much to the point where I think people that left would get rehired.
Oh, as long as John Bolton doesn't get back in there. So.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Guy.
So. I don't know, man. It depends on how much shit you talked about him over the last 4 years. So
maybe
the guy does have a little bit of an elephant's memory for that shit. So
he does. Now maybe, and hear me out on this.
Okay.
It's not going to happen, but maybe this is one of the times where you take the Caesar route and you forgive and say,
I don't think you do that. I don't think mercy is anywhere in his vocabulary. It's possible he could Mark Anthony him. You never know, man. So
now, from his mugshot, it looks like he's wanting to carve up Christmas dinner.
He's looking a little bit more Caligula.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
I'm Pat.
I'm Jeffrey.
I'm hitting the button.
Yeah.